Hey everybody, my name is Blake Cadwell. I'm the co-founder at Soundly.com, and today we're going to be reviewing an exciting new device from a company called Neuromod. It's the Lenire device that targets specifically the soothing or treating of tinnitus symptoms. I've got a demo unit here in the studio. I'm going to show you how it works, and we'll talk about some of the claims and studies that come along with this device and whether it might be a good fit for you. Let's get into it. Now, if you've been following this channel for long, you'll know that we talk a lot about hearing aids and other treatments for people with hearing loss. But one of the big questions that we get from our viewers and our readers at Soundly.com is, what do I do if I'm experiencing tinnitus or ringing in the ear? Now, tinnitus is extremely common. About 10 to 15% of adults worldwide experience tinnitus, and it can range from annoying to downright debilitating, depending on the level that you're experiencing it. Many folks use hearing aids to help soothe their tinnitus by introducing more outside sound and sort of masking the sound of ringing in their ears. But others are looking for more targeted treatments, and that's where Lenire comes in. Lenire's been around for a long time. They started working on the science behind their device in 2010. They released a device in Europe in 2019. And then the big news that really caught our attention and is the reason for this video is that the FDA approved the use of Lenire devices to treat tinnitus in 2023. We were able to get in touch with the company, get a demo unit so we can show you how the whole system works, and then we'll talk through some of the research that they have shared with us on what they're finding are the results of the Lenire system in the treatment of tinnitus. Now, it's worth noting that this video is sponsored by Lenire. We're going to be taking a look at the devices themselves and some of the studies that have been produced by the company. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to take a look at the system itself. We'll show you how the different pieces of the Lenire system work together, how you as a user would use it on a daily basis. Then we'll talk about some of the studies behind the device and some of the findings from those studies. Finally, we'll talk about where you can get Lenire if you are interested in this system. The Lenire system comes with two main pieces. You've got the headphones, which I have on my head. They play sound into your ears. And then you have this controller, which is controlling both the sound that goes into your headphones and controlling this tongue tip. Now, this tongue tip has 32 points on it. Each of them are going to give different patterns of stimulation to your tongue. So while I'm in treatment, I'm going to look something like this. You can adjust the power of the stimulation on your tongue. You can also adjust the volume of the headphones. Overall, I found the system was pretty easy to set up and is quite simple to use. Now, typically someone would do 2 30-minute sessions a day with the tongue tip in place and the headphones on their head. Now, you might be wondering, what is all of this doing? Why the tongue stimulation? Why the headphones on your head? How does this actually relate back to tinnitus? Neuromod has shared that this all comes back to neuroplasticity. Essentially, you're waking up different parts of your brain and getting them active in a way that can rewire your brain to stop the short circuit that is tinnitus. Now, without getting too far into the science, tinnitus is typically described as sound with no external source, or ringing in the ears. And often it comes when your brain has somewhat of a short circuit where it's looking for where sound used to occur in your cochlea, but no longer occurs because of hearing damage. That hearing damage could have been from loud sound exposure or potentially just from age and wear and tear. Our lead audiologist, Dr. Amy Sorrow, recently created a video with an animator to capture this entire process. I'll play that now.
Tinnitus is sound without an external source, but where does it come from? Let's go inside the ear. Sound moves down the ear canal and vibrates the eardrum and ear bones. Those vibrations then arrive at the cochlea, where rows of hair cells react to incoming sound energy. It's here in the cochlea where tinnitus often begins. Loud sound exposure can damage hair cells, creating dead regions. The lack of sound stimulus from these regions can create a feedback loop in the brain, triggering a ringing sound. The spontaneous firing rate increases, leading to a chronic uptick in activity in the auditory cortex. That's tinnitus inside the ear.
By using bimodal stimulation, or stimulating two parts of your body at the same time, you're linking parts of your brain that maybe haven't been linked in a while, and that can create a rewiring or a reduction in how much you might notice your tinnitus symptoms. Now you might be wondering, does all of this actually work? Does Lenire actually reduce the symptoms of tinnitus and make it more bearable in your day-to-day life? And this is where things get pretty exciting. The company has conducted 3 large-scale studies to date with patients using the treatment with tongue tip and headphones for a number of weeks. The results are pretty amazing. 83% of the more than 500 trial patients would recommend Lenire as a tinnitus treatment. In their most recent large-scale clinical trial, which resulted in the FDA granting Lenire approval as the first bimodal device of its kind for treatment of tinnitus, 80% reported a clinically significant improvement in their tinnitus. All right, so now that you understand a little bit about these devices and how they work, you may be asking, where can I get one of these devices, or how would I procure one of these devices if in fact I was interested? Now, the first thing to note is that these are not over-the-counter devices. You cannot go out and buy a Lenire on your own online. You'll need to go to one of the participating clinics that is a part of Lenire's rollout in the United States. Right now they're in most major metros, so if you go to their website and you fill out their form, you'll find a local clinic near you. Now, once you go to that local clinic, an audiologist is going to take your hearing test. They're going to talk to you about your tinnitus symptoms, and then they will program the device to match your needs. That means programming the power settings on your tongue tip. It means setting the sound settings inside of your headphones and talking to you about how long you should be completing treatment before you check back in. You'll typically go back to that same audiologist for follow-up appointments. You can talk about how things are going along through the process. So for anyone who's struggled with tinnitus, maybe you've tried hearing aids or you've tried other lifestyle adaptations to try to reduce the symptoms of tinnitus, but those things are not working, we think that Lenire is an exciting option, certainly something to talk to your audiologist about, and something potentially to give a try. If you've tried Lenire or you have any specific questions, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below, and we wish you the best in your research.